Welcome to our first ever Walk With Us forum. These are the first steps of the Australian Olympic Committee's reconciliation journey that acknowledge, recognise and celebrates Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history, culture within the Olympic movement.
We invite you all on a journey into the history of the First Nations people. A journey that encourages Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians to acknowledge our true history, and an invitation to walk side by side on a reconciliation journey towards the future. Tonight's forum will be presented in 3 different parts. Yarn 1, where we'll acknowledge the past, Yarn 2, where we'll come together in the present, and Yarn 3, where we'll walk together in the future.
I see open hearts, I see Australia willing to walk with us, and I mean it's the theme of tonight, but I've seen it in the employment space, I've seen it in business space, and now I'm seeing it in the sporting space as well. We're opening our hearts to support Indigenous people.
I don't think unless you've experienced something like intergenerational trauma that you can truly understand it, but what I would love for people to be more open about is the listening and supporting when somebody is brave enough to share their story and the effects that it has had on them.
When I went to school up in the Torres Strait, we weren't allowed to speak our own language in the school. I felt that, during this time our human rights were taken away from us, where we were actually put into reservations, missions, and we were controlled by the white protectors. And a lot of our elders today are still living with that memory in the Torres Strait.
How do we tell the truth of our history? How do we get people to listen? Well, of course, the only way to bring people to our stories, to allow people to see us, is to actually live amongst other Australians, to capture their imaginations, and no one does that better than our athletes. You're representing us, and you're representing the best of us. You are the gateway from our society to the wider Australian society.
The Uluru Statement finishes with a statement that says, to all Australians, we invite you to walk with us in a movement of the Australian people for a better future. It's really important to understand that the Uluru Statement wasn't issued to governments, it wasn't a petition to governments, it's not a submission to governments, it's an invitation to every single Australian. And it's up to every single Australian to determine what their response to the Uluru Statement is going to be.
It's daunting to ask, it's daunting to not know, especially when you normally feel so confident in your life and the space that you live, to put yourself in this uncomfortable position. But I encourage you to do it because it will give you a lot of insight. The way that they accept your lack of knowledge, so long as you're trying to be part of the change, is incredible, and it's liberating.
One of the best ways to actually find connection and find commonality with someone is to share a story. It doesn't matter whether you're a CEO or it doesn't matter whether you're a community person or whatever, everyone's got a story to tell and everyone's got a story to connect. So whatever we do, I'd absolutely encourage storytelling to be part of the way that we share and try and find those connections amongst each other.